We hear stories about people coming to America on boats, planes, shit, teleportation, spaceship, but you almost never hear about people walking. Does it happen? It does. Does it sound crazy? It does, because it is. And Ricardo was one of those people. What up, everybody? I am the Mademoiselle, and I'm saying the wrong intro. I haven't done that in such a long time. So let's start over. I mean, I guess it's not too big of a deal. A lot of y'all here from my main channel. So what's good, y'all? What's poppin'? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. We are trying to get back into a more mainstream schedule now that it is February or whatever. January, the best month of the year, is over. If y'all don't know, I'm a Capricorn, so I think January is always going to be the best month. You feel me? Shout outs to the Capricorns. Let me stop being petty. Shout outs to the Aquariuses out there. I got a lot of people in my life that are Aquariuses. Okay, happy birthday, happy early birthday, happy belated birthday. Before we get started, if you guys are interested in changing up your wardrobe, I do have my own clothing subscription box. It is going to be linked down below. And even better, if you're currently watching this in February 2024, I am doing a giveaway where you can get a free subscription. Details are going to be down below where you can enter. But as you guys can tell by the title of this video, we're going to be talking about how Ricardo walked from Brazil to the United States. Now, I told you guys, just because Ricardo moved out don't mean the stories are over. Actually, my mom just told me some shit the other day, so that's a whole nother video. But I already told y'all we're gonna go back to the beginning, so that we could honestly evaluate how this shit got this bad. And even though he moved out, just because of the story my mom told me yesterday, I'm like, oh my God, this is just bound to continuously get worse. Like, I don't think Ricardo leaving is going to solve the problem. So in one of my most recent videos that I did, basically, you know, backlogging everything that happened with Ricardo, I talked to you guys about how my mom essentially raised Ricardo. However, when she came to the United States, she kind of lost contact with him. Ricardo grew up, he became a grown-ass man, he already had 5 kids, and he eventually retained citizenship in Brazil. Now, you guys are probably like, 5 kids? Yes. Ricardo has 5 kids. That is a whole nother story for a whole nother time, but he does not take care of any of these kids. His mother actually takes care of these kids financially, emotionally, physically. Like, some of them actually stay in the house. And I will say these kids are bad as hell, but it's not really their fault. As you guys can see, Ricardo ain't shit, but Ricardo's also a deadbeat. But their mothers are deadbeats as well. Their mothers only come around when they know money is involved. But again, whole nother story. So some way, somehow, I don't know how he got to Brazil. However, I do know that Haiti does have relationships with some countries in Latin and South America where Haitian citizens are able to go down there and get citizenship or residency or what have you. So Ricardo did end up going to Brazil, and he was there for a while. He was established, he had a job, or he had a girl or whatever. We're gonna get into that. You know what this man had the nerve to say, okay, at the end of all of this? And you guys are gonna hear the whole story, and you're gonna be like, this man is unmatched, okay? Dernier modèle, in the words of my mom, which means the last model, okay? They don't make nobody else like Ricardo, bro. There's nobody else in the world like Ricardo, okay? This man gonna say, well, it is what it is. I never wanted to be in Brazil. I wanted to be in the United States. We hear stories about people coming to America on boats, planes, shit, teleportation, spaceship, but you almost never hear about people walking. Does it happen? It does. Does it sound crazy? It does, because it is. And Ricardo was one of those people. He legit walked all the way from Brazil to, can you comment down below, pause this video right now, or better yet, I'll probably add a counter. Comment down below, where do you think Ricardo walked to? And I know for a fact nobody's going to guess it right. Did you get it yet? Ricardo walked all the way from Brazil to Nevada. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I don't understand the route. I don't understand who gave him the route. I don't know who he came with, but he indeed did some way, somehow find himself in Nevada. And he definitely had to be detained for a while. It was a very long process. I remember when they told me, like, yeah, I'm gonna have a cousin coming over. It's one of my mom's favorite nephews or whatever. And I was like, okay. Who is this man? And he was like, oh, well, yeah. And they kind of just gave me a rough gist. Oh, yeah, your mom practically raised him. And, you know, your mom's excited to have him here. It was my dad that was telling me. And, yeah, you know, he's going to be living with us, you know, until he gets on his feet, you know, going to school, going to church, you know, so he shouldn't be here for long. When I'm telling you, as soon as I saw Ricardo, it was one of those things where it was like, yeah, nah. Like, as soon as the words, hey, coos, came out his mouth, I was like, that might sound crazy, y'all, but it's like, what do you even want? Like, I don't know. And yes, I know he was just saying hi to me, but y'all already know I do have a very good sixth sense. Like, so I'm usually not wrong. And as all of this has unfolded, and again, I haven't even begun to tell you guys the half, I was definitely correct. Let's get into the story of how he walked here. So essentially, he walked here not by himself, with a group of migrants from Brazil. But he wasn't alone. He was actually with his wife, girlfriend, woman at the time. I don't know what her title was, okay? And let's just say that that did not go well, right? So this woman is actually one of his children's mothers. And the whole entire trip, they were together. They were supposed to get to Nevada together and basically seek asylum with one of our family members. That was the plan. However, they had actually got detained in Florida somewhere along the way. I have no idea how the track went from this to that. I don't know the details of that, but at one point they got held up in Florida. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like when it comes to ICE, immigration, or anything like that, whether we're talking about the United States, Canada, Italy, France, Australia, I feel like they're very biased when it comes to women, because this situation would have never happened. Ricardo, the woman, and all of the migrants end up getting caught up at the border in Florida. Now, you would have thought that it just ended in Florida because that's what would make sense. But Ricardo ends up escaping, and his woman ends up essentially denouncing Ricardo, denouncing that she came with anyone, and, you know, basically saying she's there by herself and she's there with the child. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, they had the nerve, gall, audacity to pull up over there with the child. Now, you guys are probably sitting here like, why? Listen, is it crazy? Is it ridiculous? Yes. But when you think about what people in other countries go to, we are extremely privileged. People from Haiti, Brazil, Chile, Cuba, Senegal, Nigeria, Kenya, you know, these people are going through things that are extremely out of touch to us. We will never understand it. We're talking about bandits, kidnappers, unexplainable violence, endless days of hunger, political unrest, and so much more. So a walk to the United States with your child, as crazy as it seems to us, because we could switch lights on and off, they can't even do that, bro. Like, they don't even know where their next meal is gonna come from, where their next water is going to come from, where their like, if they're going to survive the next day. It's very different. Like, I completely get it. I personally would have put a kid through that. Like, a lot of people do leave their kids for that journey, but a lot of people understand that sometimes if you do leave your kid there, what's gonna happen to the kid? Who's gonna watch after the kid? What happens if you die on that journey? So a lot of people just take their kids with them, right? A lot of people don't know where their next whatever is going to come from. A lot of us have the luxury of judging. We have the luxury of thinking, well, how could you do something like that? Why would you take a kid, whatever? Because we could just go in the fridge and get our next meal. We could open the light and have light. We can go on our phones and have internet. We have the privilege to do that, but these people have went through things that we will never be able to understand or grasp. So, I mean, I guess, you know, I feel like walking to the United States is probably the only thing, the only hope that these people have to have a shot at a better life, especially if their kids need to have one as well. Because realistically, if we're thinking about it, if they come by themselves and they go through the naturalization process in any country, it's going to take a while before they're naturalized, and then they have to bring their kids there. And then the naturalization process for a kid is even worse and even longer. Even though that is the right way to do it, it's just not really realistic when we're talking about countries that are going through extreme bouts of political unrest, violence, human trafficking, and so much more. That's a whole nother topic. Like, it's just really sad. So essentially, she denounces, you know, him, takes the help that she can get. And, you know, I feel like there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Like, what is she gonna do? They get caught at that border. I mean, it is what it is. Now, the thing is, only some of them got caught, and some of them stopped the trip there while the others continued their trek all the way to Nevada. Now, there might be a specific reason why they went to Nevada. I don't know why. There might be some sort of lax laws over there. I don't know. Is Nevada a Republican? Well, it looks like Nevada is a blue state. So I don't know. I don't know what the idea was. I don't know what the logic was, but it seemed to be a way easier process for him to get where he needed to go, because within a few months of him being detained, child, I'm looking a mess. Please excuse my appearance, but I'm tripping. So Ricardo was actually locked up for an entire year before he ended up going anywhere. It got to the point where my family had to go to spiritual means, if you know what I'm talking about, to get him out of there. I'll probably have to do a private Patreon video in a few weeks to highlight the spiritual situation as to what happened with Ricardo coming here, as well as why some people in the family don't speak to him, because he didn't honor the deal that he had with certain family members that paid to get organs or whatever to get him out of that situation. Y'all, when I'm telling you the situation gets real messy, there's a lot of reasons why people in my family don't mess with Ricardo. He was already at DMX's house, which is my cousin that I talk about on my channel, and then he came to my house. Now, you guys are probably wondering what happened to the woman that he was with, right? So the woman that he was with, okay, his girlfriend, wife, fiance, whatever the fuck that was, ended up in Canada. Now, you guys are probably like, Yvana, so they walked to the United States to end up, so Yvana, they went from Brazil to the US, okay? That was the plan. They specifically were supposed to end up in Nevada, got caught up in Florida. How did this girl end up in Canada? Oh, guys, bro. Honestly, maybe Ricardo's a womanizer for a reason. I don't know. I'm not giving him an excuse, but child, so apparently not only did this woman denounce him at the border, okay? She already had this shit planned out. All of a sudden, she got a whole nother dude. The dude set her up with citizenship in Canada. He's in a whole nother relationship. Got her in a house, in a car. Literally a brand new life in Canada, bruh. And this is like what I'm telling you, by the time she had her new life set up in Canada, Ricardo was literally just getting set up at my mom's house. So to clarify, right, she had a dude already chilling and waiting for her in Florida, denounced Ricardo, got married to the dude, and had her own little life in Canada. Ain't that some shit? But I can't even say that Ricardo became a womanizer after, because, sir, you have 5 baby mamas. Like, get the fuck out of here anyways. So apparently the girl had a man the entire time. She basically knew that they were going to go on this trip, and eventually along the way they were going to get caught up in Florida. I have no idea why they zigzagged like that. It's very strange. Apparently the trip in total took months. I don't remember the timeline, but she knew that eventually they would probably get caught in Florida. She specifically wanted to get caught in Florida because she had a man already waiting for her in Florida. This man basically gave her the 5-star American dream Canada Express experience. She took her child and she went to go live her best life. And honestly, I can't blame her, because she got a kid to worry about at the end of the day. What the fuck you gonna do for her, Ricardo? I'm sure she knew that Ricardo was a bum from fucking Haiti, but that's neither here or there. I think that's extremely fucked up, because like, damn, you could at least gave niggas a heads up, because like, you're endangering other people in the group. I mean, I don't know. From what I understand, it was her fault that they got caught up anyway, but that's neither here or there. Now, by walk to America, obviously there was boats and stuff involved, but there was no cars. That's why I said walk. There was no cars, there was no vans. It was mainly walking, swimming through water, and going on boats, in which lots of people on this trip lost their lives. Because the thing is, the illegal trips that people take to the United States, most of the time, those are very much so cut by the time they even reach like Mexico or any other Latin American country. They be cutting them shits quick. So walking is usually your best bet to not arouse suspicion. As crazy as it sounds, that's what people do. So you would think that that was the end of it. You know, the girl just went about her merry life. From what I understand, the girl calls Ricardo all the time. Not only because they have a child together, But because she really be out here on some, oh my God, we need to get back together. I could get you citizenship in Canada. I don't know what these women see in Ricardo, but... And he does talk to his daughter sometimes, but from what I understand, they're not talking anymore because last time it was her birthday. If I'm not mistaken, this girl was born in April, so her birthday is sometime around the mime's birthday, which is his ex-wife that he beat the shit out of, that left him or whatever. And she was like, hey, can I have, you know, some hair to do my birthday? Like, I would like money to get my hair done. So she wanted like some bundles. Also, can I have an iPad? Honestly, I don't think that's much to ask for considering you're a deadbeat father and you don't fucking do anything. And mind you, that's the only kid that's been saved, okay? The rest of those kids are in Haiti fighting for their lives. And that's a whole nother story for another time, for real. Like, his other kids running amok, beating up on my family, trying to steal the family business. Yeah, it's a mess. So, I mean, it's the least you can do. An iPad and a few bundles. And basically, Ricardo was like, oh, I don't got money for that. You know, my family over here be relying on me. Ricardo, all you do is pay for your fucking room, and you can barely do that on time. You don't pay no other motherfucking bills. You do not buy groceries. At the time, you did not have a car, nor did you pay car insurance. What in the fucking holy fucking fuck are you talking about? Like, I was like, wait. He said, yo, he literally told her that. Mind you, this kid is 16. Okay, keep that in mind. He's like, oh, I can't. You know, they rely on me. I have bills to pay. Da, 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 da. So she's like, oh, okay. Now again, she's a child. She gets upset. And she's like, well, I bet you if your wife was asking for it, you would get it for her. Yeah. Ricardo starts going off, calling her all types of bitches and hoes, saying keep his wife's name out of her mouth. Like, when I'm telling you, dragged her and the kid went off back. It's sad. To this day, he still hasn't talked to her. I think it's been 2 years, so I'm not if I'm not mistaken, she should be turning 18 this year. It's really sad. Ricardo has really single-handedly ruined every single relationship he's had with all of his kids. I could probably really do a whole nother video on that. Like, my dad has a very close relationship with one of his kids, but sadly, that kid is like lost in the wind somewhere. Like, that kid is like, we don't know. We literally think that probably I'm not even trying to be funny, but like, we probably think that the kidnappers like probably killed her by now because like nobody's seen her ever since the kidnapping situation has gotten worse in Haiti. So it's just genuinely sad. So the girl's mom is always talking to Ricardo, but you already know Ricardo is out here slouching and using up all of my parents' resources. So going to Canada, nah, too much work. Okay, so he never ended up going down there. But I will say the first few months of Ricardo being there was very peaceful. He went to church, he went to school, he was stealing my shit, but it was cool because I had extras. It was whatever, I overlooked it. But shit really started to get bad, and this is how I knew Ricardo was not going to last. When literally Ricardo was out here talking shit about my parents' living situation to people in Haiti. And ever since then, I really didn't fuck with him. Like, that's legit what made me not like him. So at the time when Ricardo first moved in, that's when my parents were going through the worst financial situation. And I also was going through the worst situation I've been going through now. If you guys have been watching me for a while, you would know that I talked about how I was forced to leave my parents' house because they didn't pay the bills. They expected me to pay the rent and the electricity bill. I think the electricity bill was like at $2,000, $3,000. The gas bill was at $3,000. The rent was lost, so they owed like 2 months. It was a lot. And that was when I first got my biggest YouTube check. It was around that time where this situation happened. By this point, Ricardo had been there for a few months or so. And at this point where this situation happened, the lights have been cut off. And Ricardo, mind you, Ricardo was in Brazil. He was not in Haiti. Ever since he left Haiti, he doesn't associate with nobody. He don't be trying to send nobody no money, so he don't answer phone calls. He literally speaks to like maybe 1 or 2 people, right? Why did Ricardo call up the niggas in Haiti and start talking shit? Oh, there's nothing here. Oh, they're poor. They don't got shit. The lights don't work, blah, blah, blah. Mind you, I understand that it's a very dire situation, but you do understand you're not paying any bills, right? At this time, Ricardo was not paying not one fucking bill, not 1 red cent, not groceries, not his room, not the rent, nothing. Like, Ricardo didn't start paying rent until maybe 2019. So this had to be like 2016-ish, 2017-ish, around that time. So, sir, I'm gonna need you to shut the fuck up because you're living here for free. If you're not gonna help, shut the fuck up. And also, if I'm not mistaken, he couldn't work because he didn't even have his papers yet. So it's like, honestly, just be happy that you have a roof over your head, my guy. And to be quite honest with you, like the electricity was out for like maybe 2 weeks or so. I can't even quote y'all now. I'm gonna have to find the videos and link them down below. It was a dire situation, but my thing is, there's a way to talk about things in a way that don't make people feel like shit. And one thing about me, I'm the only one that can talk shit about my parents, not you, bitch. So no, like that shit had me so upset because some way, somehow, the shit got back to my parents that Ricardo was talking shit. And it specifically got back to my mom because my mom was always talking to people in Haiti. And my mom cried herself to sleep that day. She was literally cursing out Ricardo from here to Mexico, bro. Like, it started at 6 o'clock. It didn't end till like freaking the next morning. I don't even think she went to sleep. She was just crying because she was so embarrassed and she was so upset that Ricardo would go and talk shit because, one, you're living here for free. Two, you see we're going through a hard time. And three, it's like, bro, like, you go do better than go get your own apartment and keep up with the bills, bro. Like, living in America is hard. And I feel like a lot of like immigrants, like, they see people living in America and they think they hit gold. They hit the good life. And it's like, yes, there's lots of opportunities here, but you have to work for those opportunities. And a lot of people just aren't there yet. And a lot of people will just never be there. That's the real reality. So it's just like, bro, shut the fuck up if you're not gonna help. You're not making anything any better. Like, this dude really went around running his mouth, y'all. Like, and y'all, I will never forget how my mom cried. I'll never forget it. I will never forget it. Ever since then, me and Ricardo, we wasn't cool. I swear to God, I wanted to call ICE. And literally, one of my friends was an ICE agent. I was like, I should just call him, come get you right now, you stupid bitch. Like, how dare you? Like, how dare you? So you guys are probably wondering, like, is he here legally? Is he here legally? Actually, he is here legally. So I can't really call ICE if I wanted to. So they really wouldn't do anything unless he did something illegal. That's why I genuinely wanted his ex-wife to press charges on him. For putting hands on her, because not only is that not right, but it would have fucked up his chances of getting citizenship. But apparently he's had numerous chances to get citizenship through marriage and stuff like that. He just hasn't taken it because he wanted to be with his wife, which now is not his wife. So it's going to be interesting to see. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he goes about that now. So that's the story of how Ricardo walked from Brazil to America. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure you guys slap that like button on your way out. Please subscribe and make sure you guys join the Patreon.